a special guest host today.
My name is Jordan Robinson. I am a molecular cell and developmental biology major at UCLA and one of the lovely scholarship recipients of the UBAA Winston Doby Legacy Scholarship. This event tonight is a gala scholarship just in recognition of the beauty of the excellence in the room. At the end of the day, community is what you make it. The support, the love, the excellence, the building, it's impeccable, and it's a blessing to be here.
Stephen, what brings you here today? How are you associated?
I'm an alumnus of UCLA, graduated in 1983 with a master's degree in business administration.
Now, this scholarship, are you actively seeking people for it or helping with it? Or?
Well, what I tried to do is help financially, that we have increased the number of enrollments of students of African American descent into UCLA.
That's amazing. I mean, I think I did this about 4 or 5 years ago and I haven't been back, so I'm so excited to see you guys doing it.
Yes, I'm excited too. I mean, it makes a difference in the life. I know how it is being a student, living off of top ramen and bologna sandwiches.
And rice. Rice was mine.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much, and keep doing what you do. So we are here with Mr. James, who's also a board member. How do you figure out who you're going to pick for the scholarships? What are the criteria?
The criteria is all students who are accepted to UCLA are actually eligible. However, we look for those who have a commitment to their community, maybe who had some challenges growing up, and then we also look for those who have really big dreams and things that they hope to do for the community. So those are the students we really try to focus on.
And you gotta get dreams, or where are you gonna go?
There you go. My dream was to go to UCLA. It was the only school I applied to, so we look for kids who have big, bold dreams, who want to be Bruins one day, and we want to be able to support them in their journey, their educational journey.
Now, do you know all the people that were chosen this year?
Yes, I know almost all the people who were chosen this year. Manla Kayise was actually my mentor when I came to UCLA. And so we call him the Martin Luther King of UCLA. So every black student who come through UCLA, you all go through Manla, and he's been a support to all of us for at least 2 decades. So it's great that he's finally being honored tonight. And of course, Chiles, the gymnast, she's amazing. And we have a lot of great other people who are being honored, and we're just excited to be able to elevate those people tonight.
Well, you have a good evening now.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Wendy, what do you have to do with everything today?
Well, first of all, I am a lifetime member of UCLA Black Alumni. I am a class of 84. I had to think about what year I graduated. And then tonight, I'm also going to be doing the invocation.
Oh, I love that. I love that. How did they come to you to do that?
Probably because I've done it in the past. And so they just asked me would I mind coming and doing it again tonight. So I said, no problem.
So it sounds like you've been doing this for a while. How many years have you been doing this?
Well, I mean, in terms of the invocation for UCLA Black Alumni, just a few years. But I'm also a columnist for the Los Angeles Sentinel and the Inland Valley News. And I also have my own podcast called The Purpose Partner. And I used to have my own talk show, so years ago. So
how often does it play?
Every week. It comes out every Wednesday, and it's called The Purpose Partner Path Podcast.
How do we keep track of you on social media?
Everything's at Wendy Gladney, and my website is wendygladney.com.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you have a
thank
good
you.
evening.
God bless.
Hi, Deborah. And for my audience, what is your association today with this event?
I'm a UCLA alumni from the 80s and former board member, former UCLA Alumni Association board member, active alumni.
Okay. And so is this something that you support every year?
Yes.
Okay. What's the one thing my audience might not know about this whole association?
That we hear HBCUs get a lot of credit for what they do for black students, but the UCLA Black Alumni really want to make sure that any student of African American heritage who would like to come to UCLA can take advantage of all the opportunities that a world-class institution like UCLA offers.
Oh, that's great. What a great to tell us. Do you have any social media you want to give us?
I am Deborah Hunter at Cox.net and Facebook.
Thank you so much. You have a good evening.
Thanks.
So tell me a little bit about what your association is with this.
Well, I am a double Bruin. I worked on campus for a time, and I lectured on campus for a time, and then I am a former UBAA president, and just resigned from the board after 20 years of service this past June.
Well, thank you for your service.
I have been pretty dedicated Bruin most of my adult life.
Thank you for helping the young people. I appreciate it.
There's nothing I enjoy more than helping the young people, but as I will share with folks tonight, it really is about helping UCLA maintain its connection and its commitment to all of our local communities.
Okay, now is there any kind of social media you could share for people that either wanted to follow you or find out more?
Oh, absolutely. My Facebook page is Mandla Kaise. I also have a New World Education, which is my company page. On Instagram, I'm MK Moves the Crowd. I have to remember that myself. And then my New World Education page is, New World Images.
Wow, I love
Instagram.
that.
Yeah.
You're prepared.
I'm prepared. I have to do a lot of social media marketing, so I appreciate that you asked in the first place. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. You have a nice evening.
Thank you.
We are here today with
Latanya Hines.
Miss Latanya Hines. What is your association with today's event?
I am the Ralph Bunch Humanitarian Recipient of the Year.
I know we got some more in there. We'd like to expand.
Absolutely. Well, I'm also an obstetrician gynecologist and a UCLA alumni from way back. I won't say the year. But also I represent Kaiser Permanente, a better choice in healthcare, UCI College of Medicine, and Charles Drew, meaning mentorship and education for medical students doing the work.
I know that's right. As a UCLA pre-med student myself, it's an honor to be standing in front of you. So what does this event mean to you today? What would you like our audience to take away, the significance of this?
I want them to know that the advocacy for increasing the numbers of black medical students in medical school changes the health care and the outcomes for everyone, and definitely for black patients. The more that we can do to make sure that there is representation, it means excellence in health care for everyone.
And do we have an Instagram or social media for people to find you?
Yes, on Instagram, I'm at redhairtan.
I'm gonna find you.
Thank you.
Jacques LaShore, and I heard we have some music in store for us tonight.
That's right. We have some music for the dinner time, but I'm just glad to be here.
Well, it's a blessing to have you here. And then for your Instagram?
_guitarlosopher, the guitarlosopher.
Thank you so much. And then Ms. Gray, what is your association with today's event?
I'm being honored with the Beverly Robinson Award of Excellence.
And tell us a little bit more about this award.
It's for performing arts. I'm a film and television writer, and so Beverly Robinson, when I was at UCLA, wrote a letter of recommendation, and here I am today, thriving in TV writing and film. So, yeah.
Lovely to hear that. And then a social media for us.
Tash Manian on all platforms.
Thank you so much. Today we are here with
Clark Griffin.
Right, and then Ms. Clark Griffin, what brings you here to today's event?
I am here for the gala, of course, and then to accept an award on the behalf of the Elegant Brunettes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Elegant Brunettes at UCLA?
So I am currently co-captain of the Elegant Brunettes right now. We are an HBCU dance line team. We've brought the HBCU dance line culture to UCLA. We want to spread our talents as black dancers, although we are not only secluded to black dancers, but it's just a space for us, again, as black dancers, to share our joy for the art and to share our talents with everyone.
And we're so blessed to have you share that with us. And then just the social media for us.
Our Instagram is the Brunettes at UCLA.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great job. Today we are here with
Holly Parker.
And Miss Holly Parker, what is your association with today's event?
I am on the committee for this year's gala and also a member of UBAA, longtime member.
And what is the biggest takeaway you would like our audience to have from this event, from this experience, from this moment?
Oh, legacy, richness, and pride. This is all we have. We celebrate each other. So celebration more so than anything. Celebration of our legacy.
All right, we love that. And then a social media for
HMP98 is my IG, and Holly Parker Facebook, and I'm also on LinkedIn for the professional people.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And then Mr. Ricky Ivy, what is your association with today's event?
I am the former chairman of UCLA Black Alumni. I think I was chair for about 10 or 15 years, but I went to UCLA. I'm an attorney, and we worked very hard to make the UCLA Black Alumni happen for all of our young, beautiful black students. and this event makes me feel it was all worthwhile. Okay.
I know that's right. And then how can people find you?
I'm listed. We're one of the sponsors of the event tonight. Ivy McNeil, Wyatt, Purcell, and Diggs. We're always available to UCLA Black Alumni. So, and my wife here is Eloise Laws Ivy.
All right, and then your name for today?
My name is Eloise Laws, married to Ricky Ivy, so I'm Eloise Laws Ivy.
Okay, and then separate social media for tonight to have so that we can find you, or same?
I'm Eloise Laws Music at gmail.com.
Thank you so much for your time. You enjoy the day.
This is our signature program, and so many hours went to putting this together, so we're very, very grateful.
And all of the brilliance that is in this room, all of the careers and changes that have come from the leaders sitting here, and it is my honor to stand before you today. You know, when I think of the Black alumni at UCLA and the Black student body, I just think of your role locally, nationally, and internationally. And I think of all that UCLA has represented, sometimes called the hotbed of radicalism. And I think that's an honor, because that means that you are leading change. Your commitment to community, your impact and your influence, and it is a legacy that has gone on for decades. I remember going to UCLA. I'm going to date myself for a minute, but I think it represents UCLA in so many ways. I remember when our teachers were on strike long ago. I was a student at Hamilton High, and I rode my bicycle to UCLA so that I could attend the philosophy classes of Angela Davis. She was there. I remember the legacy of UCLA, the tragic legacy of the Panther Party. I remember UCLA at the height of the anti-apartheid movement. I remember going to UCLA and participating in protests at UCLA because of the anti-apartheid movement and calling for sanctions and boycotts. And UCLA led the way with that in our city. And I remember when Proposition 209 happened. And Proposition 209 happened, and it was a setback. And I heard the current president talk about the decline of black students. And I was one of those representatives from the community that was a part of that brain trust that was saying, this is awful, we knew it was gonna happen. We had been involved in a movement to block 209. We obviously didn't succeed then, but we went into action, and UCLA always worked with students, alumni, and community representatives. And we all put our heads together and said, in spite of what they've done, we are going to make sure that African American students are represented, and it was because of your leadership here and the founding of this Alumni Association where you never stopped. You didn't allow 209 to set us back, and I think we need to think about that now with the time period that we're in. Because we might be going for one of those time periods that black folks have always gone through in our history, where we take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back, and then we take 6 steps forward, and then they knock us back. But throughout all of our hundreds of years in this country, we have never stopped. We have never let those setbacks bring us down. We have always stood strong. And then we go through these time periods when we're popular. I remember 2020 with George Floyd. All of a sudden, we were a fad again. You know, throughout history, there have been times when they liked us and times when they said, oh, I don't want to be around you anymore. I remember after 2020 when people were waving their Black Lives Matter flags. They even had them in front of their homes because we were popular then. And diversity, equity, and inclusion, for some of us, that might be a new term, but that's what we have always fought for. There's nothing new about DEI. That's been about who we have been since the beginning, is fighting for inclusion and fighting for our righteous and rightful place. And so we go through a setback. We were, when we were popular, then all of the corporations wanted to make sure they had diversity, equity, and inclusion officers. There was a full-time staff member that focused on that. And how quickly did that pass? All of a sudden, when they decided we were no longer popular and those flags started coming down, I remember when there was a spike in crime and all of a sudden we became scary. But you know what? I remember when we went through the first Trump election. And I don't know about you, but you remember how we had this collective depression? I mean, therapists made a truckload of money in those first couple of years because everybody was in therapy. I remember that. And I went through that too. So you know what I did? I was in Congress at the time. I went to the African American Museum. I spent 3 hours in the basement. Now I know all of you have been to the African American Museum, so you know what's in that basement. Our origins, the period of enslavement. I spent 3 hours there. I read every exhibit, I watched every single video, and I came out of there and I went, what is my problem? I'm depressed over this. all that our ancestors have been through, and I'm depressed over the fact that there's a clown in the White House? I'm depressed about that? What is my problem? We can overcome this. And then all of a sudden, those companies that were running around bragging about diversity, equity, and inclusion, then they decided, oh, well, you know, and the next term, they decided, hey, guess what? We don't have to worry about that anymore. Because we really didn't want to worry about it in the first place. But we thought we had to. We really don't have to worry about it anymore, so let's just dump all those programs. All those people that had those jobs as diversity, equity, and inclusion officers all of a sudden were booted out. But I will tell you, it broke my heart when I saw UCLA take the policy stance that they did and say that they would no longer make the contribution. I remember when the Alumni Association was grappling with whether or not you would be able to even stay at UCLA or whether you were going to have to leave. But I'm so proud of the fact that you said, no, you're not leaving. And as a matter of fact, you're going to use this time period to grow, to solidify your leadership. You're going to use this time period to say it is all of our responsibilities. I think of some of one of your most famous alumni in the community, and I know he's here today, Manla. Manla, I don't know how many black leaders, and not just black leaders, brown leaders, white leaders, Asian leaders, I don't know how many of them that you're responsible for, but it's a lot. It's a lot. I remember at Community Coalition, all of the staff that you brought our way. I remember working with you on so many campaigns. And when I think of Manla, and I know that he's representative of so many of you here, but when I think of him, I just think about how significant this organization is, and how not only do you lead and mentor people in your fields, but you encourage people to enter into fields that they might not have ever thought of. You encourage people to be involved, and you encourage people to be about more than themselves and establishing and creating wealth for themselves, but their responsibility to everyone. And I think that one of the things that is so important to us, for us now, is to make sure that young people understand history, and I worry about that because I worry that our young folks are not necessarily clued into how important history is. And you go through periods like this and you think this has never happened before. Actually, this is cyclic. This does happen. We go through these time periods. We fought for decades to change the laws that are now being eradicated one by one. But we have learned how to survive. And whether the laws are in place or not, whether we are not in favor or not, we know how to do this. Maybe we can't wave a flag of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we know how to continue that fight. We can't say that we're going to retreat from the mission. We can't ever say that because our ancestors never said that. And they survived enslavement, they survived U.S. apartheid, they survived lynching. How dare us think that we have to hide in this time period? We do not have to hide. We can't ever accept that. We have to be unabashedly, unapologetically black. And we have to fight for that. And we have to say we will never allow continue the mission. Maybe we change the words, but we never stop moving forward. I remember learning about, as a member of Congress, one of the last members of Congress from the South after Reconstruction. You know, they let us vote for a while. They let a number of us get elected. They let us even go to Congress. Do you know the first members of Congress couldn't sit and eat with the other members of Congress? They had to eat in the basement along with the cooks and the help. And so they did everything they could once we started getting elected. They refused to seat us. We had to go to court. We had to fight. They threatened us. They killed us if we won an election from taking our seats. And so George White, in 1901, he was the last African-American member in Congress, the last one there. And they had just finished passing additional laws so that not only did he have to leave, but that no one would follow him. He was from North Carolina, and so he gave this speech on the floor of Congress. And he said that I might be the last member, but, and by the way, he was the last member of Congress from the South for 28 years. And in 1973, black members were elected again, and then they were kicked out. And it was 20 years later, so it wasn't until 1993 that black members were actually elected. 1993 were actually elected to Congress from the South. But he said he was a phoenix, and a phoenix like him will rise up someday and come again. So when I think of the UCLA Alumni Association, the UCLA Alumni Association is the leadership body for such a time as this, and will be the phoenix to make sure that we rise, and we rise again. Thank you.
Special guest host for tonight. Keep watching Mabry Film Events because you'll never know where we'll be next. Social media, j.reals, R-E-A-L-Z.